I have a bold prediction, and that prediction is that I believe we are going to see a Disney-less Best Animated Feature category at the Oscars next year. Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the Best Animated Feature category at next year's Oscars. You're probably wondering, why am I not doing Best Picture or a lot of these other categories? It's because it's a lot harder for me to figure out, and I'm not as aware of all of these movies that are coming out. So that's why I do some of the more broad ones like, visual effects and Best Animated Feature, because there's enough of a sample size in there for me to make a good guess. And let's just get right into the predictions, starting off with Baby Shark the movie. This is what Martin Scorsese had in mind when he said the word cinema. I don't just think Baby Shark's big movie is going to win Best Animated Feature. I think it's going to win Best Picture. And yes, I know it's coming out exclusively on Paramount Plus, but I don't think it matters here. I think the Oscars will bend over backwards and just screw all the rules just for Baby Shark. So, yeah. Anyways, on to the real predictions. How is it not going to be Spider-Verse? Spider-Verse 2 is doing amazingly well on social media because the critics that have seen this movie are saying that this is better than the first film. The first film that beat 2 Disney movies for Best Animated Feature, and they're saying this film is better. At that point, why would I put anything else above this? Especially the number 2 pick, How Do You Live? Now, maybe before I could maybe see it, seeing as how, this is Hayao Miyazaki's last film, and I do absolutely think this is the number 2, but come on. With people saying that Spider-Verse 2 is better than the first film, sorry, How Do You Live? You had a good run, but there's no way it's going to beat Spider-Verse 2. Now, again, I do believe How Do You Live is easily going to get nominated. Hell, I think there is an easy 3 that gets nominated. This is supposed to be Hayao Miyazaki's truly last film, although he said that he's made last films before, and I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this is a case where Hayao Miyazaki just kind of wants to make a movie whenever he feels like it, and this one is said to be very personal. Hayao Miyazaki is revered in the animation world. He is an Oscar darling, and I just don't see how this doesn't get nominated. And the number 3, which a lot of people are going to be surprised that it's this high up, it's Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. Aardman does way better with this category than people think. I mean, really well. Yes, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, sure. But then you have movies like The Pirates Band of Misfits, that got nominated. You have Shaun the Sheep movie, and then out of nowhere, Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, The Croods Dawn of a New Age, or whatever it was called. That's going to get nominated for Best Animated Feature. But then no, it's Shaun the Sheep. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be that top 3. It's gonna get into that top 3. And it's the sequel to Chicken Run, which is one of the most beloved animated films of the 90s. Not to mention the fact that the first Chicken Run was literally nominated for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy at the Golden Globes. With that in mind, how is Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget not an instant top 3? At number 4 is Nimona. I think Nimona is gonna be not only really, really well received, but just the story of how this movie got made is going to be very inspiring for the animation branch, where it's this movie that was in development at Blue Sky Studios, but then that fell through because of 20th Century Fox's purchase by Disney, and so they scrapped that film, and ultimately Netflix picked it up, and it's yeah, we're finally finishing this movie, and that narrative, I feel if this movie has the quality to back it up, then I feel Nimona is gonna get a nomination here pretty easily. Then we have the number 5 pick, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This is being directed by the co-director of The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which was nominated for Best Animated Feature and probably could have won over Encanto, and honestly did win over Encanto in some other awards bodies like the Annie Awards and the Critics' Choice Awards. If that can repeat itself here with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, this could be like that movie that no one expects to get an Oscar nomination for animated feature, even though a lot of people are already kind of predicting that, but still, no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie has ever gotten like strongly positive reviews, or at least not one that had like a big theatrical release. I think it could very well get a nomination. It's never gonna win, but still. At number 6, I might even move this up to number 5 if it is confirmed to be coming out this year, which is Wildwood. This is Laika Studios' newest film, and they have never missed. They had Corpse Bride, that got a nomination. Coraline, that got a nomination. Paranorman, that got a nomination. Box Trolls, that sure got a nomination. Kubo and the Two Strings, got a nomination. Missing Link, got a nomination. Laika has never missed. They've never missed. And so, if it does turn out that Wildwood is coming out this year, like, fuck it. I might even put it in the top 3 above Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget. But again, I just have it outside of this top 5 because we have no idea if it's coming out this year or not. But right now, it sits right below the top 5 at number 6. But trust me, if it does come out in 2023, and if it's announced for a 2023 release, you cannot leave this film out. Laika's track record is so good. They have never missed a single beat with nominations. At number 7 is The Peasants, which is coming from the same director of Loving Vincent. This is gonna be kind of tricky because Loving Vincent did get a nomination, but on the other hand, 2017 was a very, very, very weak year for animated films. Like, somehow The Boss Baby and Ferdinand got nominated. I don't know if its nomination has to do with the fact that there wasn't any other competition, because some people did criticize the story, but we'll just have to see. Maybe The Peasants will, have much more of a flowing narrative. And apparently they're doing the same thing where it's like, this film is animated through oil paintings. But, could that just be seen as just shtick? Like, alright, it was cool the first time with, Vincent Van Gogh, with Loving Vincent, but, like, not this time. Like, the gimmick's worn out. We'll have to see how this goes, but it's at least worth putting on here. The next film on this list is Migration. I think it's at number 8. I do not think this will ever get a nomination. The Oscars never nominate Illumination movies, unless you're Despicable Me 2, which even then the only reason why it got nominated was because 2013 was a terrible, terrible, terrible year for animated movies, and there was like zero competition anywhere else. So like, if Despicable Me 2 was only able to get in because 2013 was a terrible year for animated movies, then why would Migration? I think you're going to see some people predicting this for the Oscar. Maybe it gets nominated for a Golden Globe and probably a Producers Guild nomination, because the Producers Guild Awards will happily go for Illumination over any international animated films just like that. But I don't think this will ever make it to the Oscars. The next film on this list, and you're probably shocked as to why I'm putting it down so low, and that is Elemental. Look at the reviews. Yeah, not that many reviews, but this is Pixar. This is Pixar, and it's starting off with reviews this bad? This is not gonna get nominated, people. It's not gonna get nominated. To put this into perspective, The Good Dinosaur, Monsters University, Lightyear, and Cars 3 couldn't get nominated despite getting good reviews. And now you have Elemental, which has straight up bad reviews. And at best, I'm thinking it gets up to 60 to anyone out there saying, but there's only very few reviews, like the number's gonna go up. I don't think it's gonna go up that high. I think at best you're looking at a 60s range, which that's already bad enough for the Oscars to snub this film. I had hopes for this, but this has just tanked so badly. I think the only place this might even get nominated, it would be like the Kids' Choice Awards. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is bad. This is real bad news. And that goes right into the next film I'm talking about at number 10, which is Wish. And you're probably wondering, why do you have Wish this so far down in your predictions list? Nothing about this movie looks remarkable in any sense. nothing. This plot just seems so been there, done that, just nothing. And the animation style, I can't even call it a style. It looks like Disney wanted to capitalize on the blending of 3D and 2D animation like Spider-Verse and The Mitchells vs. the Machines. But they took like one of their projects that they were working on and just slashed the budget in half. Because this is not style, this just looks bad. Like, this literally just has no style to it. It's just a lack of detail on anything. I just don't think this movie is gonna be that good. And this is why I am thinking we are going to see a Disney-less Best Animated Feature category at the Oscars next year. This is huge. Disney's not even going home empty-handed in this category. Disney is just not even leaving home. We have not seen this since 2011, where, once again, there were no Disney films nominated for Best Animated Feature that year. And that was when they did have a critically acclaimed film in their roster, like Winnie the Pooh. Even that year, Disney couldn't do it. So, with their Pixar film taking a hit, and their Disney Animation Studios film just not looking remarkable at all, I don't think we're gonna see any Disney movies nominated this year, which is kind of a big shock and kind of a big deal. I don't know if it says more about, how bad Disney's doing right now, or how good every other animated movie studio is doing right now, and that there's way more competition. But, not looking good for Disney either way. Admittedly, maybe Wish will be a big surprise. Maybe it will be, like, just critically acclaimed and everyone just loves it. But right now, I don't see anything about this film that looks just even good in any sense. The most you might even see of this movie would be like a Best Original Song nomination. Like, that's it. Oh shit, I just realized, even Walt Disney Animation Studios has problems when it comes to getting nominated for their projects, because even Frozen 2 couldn't get in. Frozen 2 got snubbed in favor of the more critically praised Klaus from another animation studio. So, in the past, Disney movies that got good reviews, again, like a Frozen 2, like a Monsters University, like A Good Dinosaur, like Lightyear, like Cars 3, even Finding Dory, all these movies got good reviews and they couldn't even crack into the top 5 for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. If they couldn't do that, what makes us think Elemental will? And while, yes, Wish could surprise us, currently I'm thinking it doesn't do that. It doesn't get all that big critical praise for it to get an Oscar nomination. I think it will end up on the cutting room floor. I think Disney just gets shut out this year, which is, again, just inconceivable to think about, but it could very well happen, and I think it will happen. Because, like, what? Are you going to take out Spider-Verse in favor of these two? How Do You Live? Chicken Run? Again, maybe you can make an argument for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Nimona, but again, those movies are looking to be very, very good. And if Wildwood comes out, well, now you got 4 spots that are locked, because you can't take out Spider-Verse, you can't take out Hayao Miyazaki's new movie, you can't take out the Aardman movie, and you can't take out the Laika movie. So, like, one of these two is going to get snubbed, and I think both of them eventually will get snubbed. Anyways, moving on. At number 11, I think we got Trolls Band Together. I don't think this gets nominated at all. Maybe Producers Guild, stuff like that, but I don't think this is happening at all. Super Mario Brothers movie, I don't care how much you like this movie. It's not getting nominated. Stop it. This movie's not that good, in my opinion. But even then, a lot of critics don't think it's very good. The Super Mario Brothers movie is just not one of the best animated movies of the year, and it's not going to be. Just because it's the biggest animated movie of the year doesn't mean it's one of the best. Stop it. Stop thinking Mario Brothers is getting nominated. It won't. At best, you're maybe looking at a Critics' Choice or Producers Guild nomination. But if it wasn't even just for the fact that it's just not that good of a movie, but the fact that it's an Illumination movie, it's not going to get nominated. And if any Illumination movie was going to get nominated, it would probably be Migration, which again, I've also said is also not going to get a nomination. So stop it. Stop predicting Mario. Spellbound, this is going to be Apple TV Plus's new animated movie. I don't think it gets in. I don't think it gets anywhere close. I mean, if Luck couldn't do it, then why would Spellbound? Suzume, you know, this is like one of the highest grossing anime films of all time. It's just been beloved by critics, but I don't think it gets in. I don't think it gets in because these kind of anime films just don't seem to cross over into the Oscars very well. I mean, I wanted Belle to get nominated. Belle was like so fucking good, like maybe like top 3 best animated movies of the year. Hell, I thought it was like maybe in the top 15 for the best movies of the year, period. Belle couldn't do it. Suzume ain't gonna do it. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and I would love to see it happen, but Suzume, no.
Number 15
is The Magician's Elephant. It's got okay reviews. I don't think it's going to get anywhere close. The only reason why I'm putting it in here is maybe it gets nominated for Best Original Song because Diane Warren did the song for this movie. And you know, Diane Warren, if Diane Warren does a song in a movie that year, that movie's going to get nominated for the Best Original Song Oscar. So yeah, you could very well see The Magician's Elephant become an Oscar nominee, just not in Best Animated Feature, but in Best Original Song, because the power of Diane Warren compels the Oscars. So, what do you think of my predictions for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars? Thank you so much for watching. Please consider supporting me on Ko-Fi. I really need the support right now. I'm kind of scared of what the future holds. But yeah, and also consider hitting that subscribe button, because if you don't, maybe DK Donkey Kong punches you in the face.
Okay, now you die.